So that's the last question, but let me do something super quick. I think it'll take 5 minutes. I want to give one little other refutation. Just humor this, because I think it's at the right spot. Because I don't think I'll get to do this, and I don't think anyone's ever talked about this before, so just give me 5 minutes. The Seminole Indians. I had to do this. We're in Florida. You guys, right? I had to do this. They're on the chart, right? Has anyone ever wondered, well, who wonders this? All the Native Americans are Gadites, according to the 12 tribes chart. Why did the Seminoles get Reuben all by themselves? All the Cherokee, Blackfoot, Sioux, Iroquois, Dakota, Apache, Seminole, Indian, Reuben. By the way, if you need literal 12,000 to fulfill the 144,000, I think you've got 12,000 Seminole Indians to go. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they believe. Where's the Seminole Hebrew Israelites? But let me show you something that IUIC has done with the Seminoles a little bit. On the chart they carry around, the special problem, I just want to show you about the Seminoles real quick. This chart that they carry around will have, it'll just say, Seminoles of Reuben. Here on the description of Reuben that IUIC has on the website, they've added Mesquite, first of all, to Reuben there. And that's interesting because it seems that you have a situation where some of the ancestors of the Seminoles are in a different chart than the Seminoles themselves, which seems weird. I have a book by a Hebrew Israelite called Deuteronomy 28. That's the title of the book. He knocks this idea himself. Watch what he says here on page 227. The Seminole Indians, according to the chart, is the tribe of Reuben. The slight problem with that is that the Seminole in history are part of the tribe in Florida called the Creek. The Creek are the ancestors of the Seminole. How can a tribe like the Creek come from Gad, and the tribe that branched from them be Reuben, if both Gad and Reuben were two separate tribes? That's not a bad question. Not only that, let me show you some of the reasoning here. From Genesis 29:32, there's a passage they take and they say, the tribe of Reuben was included in the migration of the 10 tribes of Israel to the Americas and during the Persian captivity in 536 BC. And then verse 3 of Genesis 49, I believe, when it's talking about Reuben there, the Bible talks about that Reuben has excellency of dignity. How do they justify that accords with Reuben? Dignity means nobility of character and respectful. When we examine the Seminole Indians, they possess the quality of nobility in their dress code. They wore mitris, unlike the war bonnets of their brothers, the North American Indians. Now, if you look up pictures of the Seminole Indians, you see those really are mitris. And the Hebrew Israelite definition of mitri is not exactly the actual Old Testament one. There's some confusion there, as well as the way they pronounce it, which is mitri, which is not really the correct pronunciation, but I'm just saying how they say it. They wore mitris like their war bonnets of their brothers, the North American Indians, and garments of excellent design. That seems subjective, right? Your wardrobe is slamming, garments of excellent design. Skip to the next part there. It says that the Seminoles were not, they didn't enslave the Africans, their brothers, it says here. They made them leaders and gave their daughters to them in marriage. Many runaway slaves found safety among the Seminoles in Florida. That's true, but I'm going to show you something that shakes us up a little bit in a second here. The Seminoles also participated in slave revolts, which they fought alongside their brothers. Next part talks about the excellency of power. Reuben was a powerful tribe, it says. This is the Seminole Indians. Ponce de Leon found out about this power. So this is justification to identify him. This is why this is esoteric, to say the least. Because he was killed by a poison dart in a battle against the Seminoles. That's the justification there, a part of it. So I went to the Seminole Indian website. Go to the next slide. Looked up some of the frequently asked questions, and I said, what's a black Seminole? It's on the website. This is a misnomer. So my point is, Hebrew Israelites accept the Seminoles and they give them their own tribe. Reuben, there's a rumor, I had to track this down to Arias from Florida before he got to New York. If that's true, that means he had a special place in his heart for the Seminoles, and maybe that's why. Because I don't know the explanation yet. We're going to find out. But that's a misnomer, a term that sometimes confuses more than it explains. This is the FAQ, I'm quoting it. The African-American historian Kenneth Porter defined black Seminoles as those people of African origin who attached themselves voluntarily to the Seminoles or were purchased by them as slaves. They said they didn't enslave them. The Seminoles are telling you we enslaved you. I'm just saying, don't know who's right. I'm just telling you the websites read a little bit different. They were permitted language by the Seminoles to make their camps close by the Seminoles. Close by the Seminole camps. And in return, share their agricultural produce with the Indians. They're saying, we let them live by us, enslave some of them because gave us some of their food. A few of them gained prominence among Seminoles because of their ability to translate. Look at this one. One West system teaches Seminoles are Reuben. In the year 2000, the Seminoles expelled from their rolls all 2,000 black members. Because there are folks who would have the phenotype of so-called Negroid who would have Seminole ancestry. But the Seminoles said, not getting a piece of the reparations we want to be done. Now, it seems like if you're black, you're not getting reparations no matter where you go. Because even this one, you're not getting it. Seminole is still cut out. The Seminole chief, Jerry Haney, was asked if he would reconsider based on DNA tests. Something Hebrews ain't really into in the first place. Apparently, Jerry is not either. Quote, they could claim all the Indian they want, but they could not become a member of the Seminole Nation by blood. They're down there on the roll as freedmen. They're separate. Now, Genesis 49:4 talks about Reuben being unstable as water. They say, well, because Reuben was always moving around. So that's a justification of that. And then, on the next little slide there, it says, the following is what happened to Antonio Mantinzos, Spanish explorer, when he visited the Seminole Indians in the mountains of Quito prior to their migration to Florida. So this is post or pre-America Seminole encounter, supposedly. Passage contains what was told to him by the Seminoles concerning their identity and the identity of the roads located in Puerto Rico and Cuba. The information is found in Lost Tribes and Promised Lands by Ronald Sanders, page 363 to 365. Then what they do is give it a little account there on the website of how the Seminoles basically gave some Hebrew to them. There's a little One West created type slide. And then I got the book. Look at the picture of the book and the little next thing. Okay, so I got it right here. So I turned to the spot where they relay the encounter that is given as evidence for the Seminoles in the Sanders book. Here's what it says. After Sanders relays the account of the explorer, he gives his own comment, and it's this. With this final flourish, Montesinos turned his tale of the lost tribes into a bit of propaganda for the Dutch conquest of Brazil at the same time. So Sanders is saying propaganda tale to actually justify European conquest of indigenous peoples. Because there had to be a justification of reuniting the Hebrews and witnessing and evangelizing and all this kind of stuff, which Sanders lays out. This book is not a Hebrews-like book, it just gets misused. And that's an example. Right after the quote on the IUIC website, on page 365, I'm reading to you what the actual author says, calls it a flourish, calls it a tale, calls it propaganda, calls it justification for European conquest of an indigenous people. Doesn't sound like good proof. The Seminoles were Reuben. Thank you very much.